Hello, and welcome to the Odyssey Navigator R17 Task Manager training video. In this video, we will cover how to use the new Tasks area in Odyssey to electronically process documents. While we cannot cover every specific scenario, we will cover general workflow processes. Your specific county, clerk, or court workflow process might be different. Now let's look into the View, Search, and Filter options in Task Manager, as well as how to edit a task. The View menu is the main way you will navigate Task Manager. When you click the View menu in the top left of the Task Manager window, you have some options. The Queues option will take you to the main view of Task Manager, showing you the list of queues to which you have access. Tasks will take you to a list of all tasks from every queue to which you have access. Completed tasks will show you the tasks that you have completed, and the recent queues will give you quick access to the 5 most recent queues you have visited. Also, at the top of your queue list is a Search Queues field. If you have access to a long list of queues and you wish to quickly search for a specific queue, you can do so in the Search field. To do so, click into the search box. You can search by keyword or by partial word. After typing in your search criteria, press Enter on your keyboard. Queues matching your search criteria will appear below. To clear the search field, you can press X. If a queue shows up in light gray in your search results, that means there are no tasks currently in that queue. Again, to clear the search field, we'll just click the X. That's how you can search the list of queues. You can also filter your list of queues. Clicking the Filters button to the right of the search box will bring up the Filters options. For your queue list, you have the following options. You can change the sort order of your queues. If you hover your mouse over the sort order, you can engage the drop-down. From here, you have some options to sort your queue. You can have the list of queues sorted alphabetically by queue name. This is the default option. You can also sort your queue by the number of tasks from low to high, or you can sort by the number of tasks descending from highest to lowest. You can also sort them by the number of overdue tasks from lowest to highest, or in descending order from highest to lowest. We'll cover overdue tasks later in this video. Once you've made your selection of sort order, there is one more option on this screen. Below the sort order dropdown is a checkbox next to Hide Queues with No Tasks. If you check this box, any queues that are empty will be hidden from your list of queues. You can always change this back at any time. Once you have made your selection, you will need to click Apply at the bottom of the window. If you don't wish to save your selections, you can click Cancel. If you wish to clear all filters and return them to the default settings, you can click Clear All at the top of the window. Clicking Apply will take you back to your list of queues with your filters applied. You can always see what filters are currently applied to your view by looking below the search box. In this example, the queues are sorted by queue name, and hiding the empty queues is set to Yes. If you need to change these or reset them, you can always click the Filters button, make your adjustments, and click Apply. And now you'll see that the queues with 0 tasks have reappeared. Those are the options available from the queue list. Now let's look at the ways in which you can search tasks. Clicking on a queue will display the tasks within that specific queue. You can see which queue you are in by looking below the search box. At the top of the list of tasks, you have a Search Tasks field. You can search your list of tasks in a variety of ways. First, make sure your cursor is in the search box. You can search by keyword. You must use at least 3 characters. For example, if I type in CON and press Enter on your keyboard to engage the search, you'll see that I bring back motions for continuances because they contain CON. To reset the search box, click the X inside the search box. You can also search by party with at least 3 characters of the name. In this example, it brings back the task with Jane Smith as the party. Press X to clear the search box. You can also search by the last 3 or more numbers in the case number. For example, if I type in 033 and press Enter, it will bring back any cases with 033 in the cause number. You can also search by case type. You can only search by one case type at a time. To do so, in the search box, you need to type in case type, colon, and with no spaces, type in the abbreviation for your case type, and press enter on your keyboard. In this example, it will bring back my small claims cases. If you wish to search for a different case type, click inside your search box, and you can quickly change the case type abbreviation. And now I can quickly see my mortgage foreclosures. Please make note of this specific way to search for case type. You must use the case type colon and abbreviation for the case type in order to search by case type. However, the search is not case sensitive. So if I type in case type and press enter, it will still bring back the mortgage foreclosures. This is how you search the tasks. You can combine the search options with the advanced filtering options we will cover next. To the right of the search box is the filters button. Clicking on the filters button will bring up the filter options. You have many options for filtering your list of tasks. You can filter by just one of the options, or you can combine one or more of the options to further filter your list. The first option at the top is the sort option. Engaging the dropdown will show you the list of options you have for sorting your tasks. Completed and completed descending only applies if you are in the completed tasks queue. Created is the default view, which puts your oldest tasks at the top and the newest tasks at the bottom. You can reverse sort this by using created descending, which puts your newest tasks at the top and your oldest tasks at the bottom. You can sort your list by description alphabetically from A to Z. You can sort the list by the due date ascending from oldest to newest, or you can sort by the due date descending. You can also sort by priority or priority descending, or you can sort by the status. We'll cover the due date and priority later in this video. A new feature in R17 allows you to view all tasks in more than one queue at a time. First, ensure the checkbox is checked next to Show Only Accessible Queues in Queues filter. You can only view tasks in queues to which you have access, and this ensures that you can only select those queues. Clicking on the Queues drop-down arrow will show you the list of queues to which you have access. You can now select one or more queues from this list. If you are responsible for managing the tasks in multiple queues, you can now select all of those queues at once to see the tasks in one list. In this example, I'm going to select the Court Daily queue and the Return to Staff Civil. You can select as many queues as you need from this list. When you are done, you can click the up arrow to close this dropdown. If you have selected more than one queue, you will now see the code for the queues separated by a semicolon. Any additional filters you choose on this page will apply to all of the queues you have selected here. If you leave this option blank, the filters will only apply to the currently selected queue. The Show Disabled Users can remain unchecked. It won't affect this filter option. You can now further filter your list by selecting one or more users from your county from the Assigned To option. This option will display the user list for the entire state. However, selecting a user from outside your county will not allow you to see their tasks. If you want to filter your list of tasks by their status, you can select one or more of the statuses listed. You can also filter by the priority of the task. If any of the tasks have a due date, you can select the needed filter. And finally, you can narrow the list down by the created date to see tasks created in a date range, in the past month, in the past week, or those tasks created today. Again, you can select just one of the filter options or a combination of filter options. Once you have made your selections, you can click Apply at the bottom to apply your filters. If you don't wish to apply the filter options you have selected, you can click Cancel. Once you click Apply, you will be taken back to the list of tasks. You can use the same search options mentioned earlier if you need to search this list. Combining the search and filter options will allow you a high degree of customization in Task Manager. You can see which filters are currently active below the search box. If you hover your mouse over a filter option, you can see more detail, such as which queues are currently selected. Because I selected more than one queue in this example, I will now see the tasks in both of the queues selected. If you need to change or clear your filters, you can do so by clicking on the Filters button again at the top. And now you can either modify your filters as needed, or you can reset all of the filter options by clicking Clear All at the top of the Filters window. Once you have modified or cleared all of your filters, you can click Apply. Tasks now appear in individual boxes. Moving your mouse over a task will highlight it in yellow. This lets you know which task your mouse is currently over. If you click your mouse, you will begin working this task. Let's take a moment to look at the task information box. In the first line of the task information box, you will see the task's current status, such as pending or in progress. Next, it will show the priority of the task. And third, it will show the current queue that task is in. The second line will show the task description. This is typically the event code that created the task along with the case number. The event description may show different text if the user created a manual task and gave it a custom title. In the middle of the task information box is the caption, and at the bottom it shows the date and time the task was created. If a user is actively working the task, it will show the person assigned to that task. If the task has been assigned a due date, it will also show after the currently assigned user. Now, let's talk about editing the task. When you click into a task, you are presented with the Task Detail window. Near the top of the task, you have an Edit button. The Edit button allows you to modify 3 things about a task: the task description, priority, and due date. Description allows you, if needed, to edit the description of the task to make it more meaningful to fellow staff members or the judicial officer. We recommend that if you choose to modify the description, that you leave the case number at the end. Priority of tasks can be set. However, the number does not affect anything outside of the task. It is only for your reference and for filtering. Tasks automatically created by adding an event and document are assigned a priority 1, which is the highest priority. Manually created tasks by default are assigned 50, but this can be changed when creating the task. If your office or county uses the priority option, please refer to your specific guidelines. Odyssey assigns the designation of high to priorities set with the value of 1 through 33, medium from 34 to 66, and low to 67 through 100. You can assign any number value you like, but again, a reminder that priority does not affect the case outside of the task. No reports can be run based on a task's priority. It is for your internal reference only. The due date can also be set. Like priority above, this date only shows up in the task. This date does not affect any part of the case or show up on any report. No additional reminders can be set. Once you have set your priority and due date, if required, you can click Save. The priority you set and the due date now appear at the top of the Task Detail window. If you are in a task and need to return to the list of tasks, click the back arrow to return to your list of tasks. The priority and due date also appear in the task information box. Again, the priority is in the middle of the first line, and the due date appears at the bottom. If you assign a task a due date and the task becomes overdue, you will see this in 2 places. One is in the list of tasks. You will see a red triangle in the top left of the task information box. This signifies that this task has an overdue date. The other place is in the list of queues. If you have a queue that has tasks with due dates and one of them is past due, you will see the number of tasks and the number of overdue tasks. You can use the task due date in combination with the follow-up event report to manage and track the due dates and completion of tasks. A reminder, the priority and due dates are also part of the filter options mentioned previously, so you have additional criteria to use if needed when filtering. Odyssey Task Manager is now located in the left panel list view under the Tasks tab. When you click on the Tasks tab, you will be presented with the queues to which you have access. Clicking on a queue name will take you to a list of tasks in that queue. Tasks will now be displayed in the left panel list view. By default, tasks are arranged with the oldest tasks at the top and the newest tasks at the bottom. However, later we will discuss ways you can filter and sort this list of tasks. To work a task, left-click on any of the tasks in the list view. When you click on a task, the task detail window will appear in the left panel list view. If you would like to assign your name to the task so that others in your office know that you are currently working the task, you can do that by clicking the Start button at the top of the task detail screen. At the top of the task detail window, you have the event information and the cause number, the party information, the queue you are currently in, the priority, the due date if it was set, if it has been assigned to or is currently worked by somebody will be listed in the Assigned To area, and the date the task was created. Notes added to tasks now appear at the top of the task detail screen. They are no longer hidden behind a tab. To add a note to the task, you can click Add Note. You can type in your note and click Save. Notes will now appear at the top of the task detail screen. You can add additional notes as needed. The most recent note is shown first. If you'd like to view additional notes, you can click on the View More Notes button. This will give you a list of all the notes related on this task. You can click the Back to Task button to return to the task. The case information contains the cause number with a blue hyperlink to the case and the party information. The case event information contains the event that created the task. The Related Documents area of the task detail screen contains the documents that are related to this task. Here you can relate additional documents as needed for review. At the bottom of the task detail window is the task history. Here you can see the movements of the task through the system. In this example, we have a motion filed. As a member of the court staff, I'm going to move this to the judicial officer for review. Before I move it, I'm going to relate the important documents that the judicial officer may need to review and sign. To do that, I'll click on the Relate Documents button. The Select Documents window will appear. From this window, I can checkmark any documents I wish to relate to this task. And click Save. When you are ready to move this task to a new queue, you can click the Move button at the bottom of the task detail window. This brings up the Move to Queue window. From the drop-down, you'll select the queue to which you would like to move this task. And click Continue. The task has now been moved to the new queue. Now let's look at Task Manager as a judicial officer. They can navigate to their particular queue. And in this example, our task will be at the bottom of the list since it was the newest task moved to this queue. Task Manager will now show the first 25 tasks in a list by default. To see additional tasks, click the Load 25 More Tasks button. At the bottom of the list, we'll see the task that we just moved in our previous example. Again, to work the task, just click once on the task. The task detail screen will appear in the left panel list view. If we scroll down to the Documents area, we can see the documents that were related to us by the staff member. If you would like to review additional documents on the case, you can select the Relate Documents button. This will bring up the Select Documents window. From here, you can checkmark additional documents that you wish to review. This Select Documents window is like the virtual case file, containing all of the documents for this case. Click Save. And now those additional documents are available for your quick review. To view or sign a document, you will click the View button to the right of the document. There is no longer a pencil icon. So to view or read this motion, you can click View, the document will appear in the new Document View window. If you have more than one monitor, this Document View window can be moved to a different monitor by clicking on the header and dragging it to your other monitor. This Document View window will now allow you to open more than one document at a time for quick review. To do that, I'm going to click back onto Odyssey, and in my Task Manager I can scroll down. You'll notice to the left of the event title a black arrow. This means that this document is currently active in the Document Viewer window. To open a second document, you can click the View button to the right of the document that you wish to view. This now loads both documents in the Document Viewer window. You'll notice on the right-hand side a quick link to both documents that you currently have open. You can switch between the motion and the proposed order. You can open as many documents as you wish related to this task. You can also maximize this viewing window. In the top left header of the Document View window, you have icons which allow you to quickly adjust the size or magnification of the document. You can also rotate the preview of the document. In the top middle of the Document View window, you have the page navigation icons. You can quickly click through the pages one at a time, or jump to the end or beginning of the document. In the top right of the Document View window, you have the View Thumbnails icon, or the magnifying glass which will allow you to search the document for keywords. You also have the ability to print the document if needed. On the left-hand side of the document, you have the annotation tools. Tools that are grayed out are not currently available in Odyssey. At the top, we have the Rotate Image Left or the Rotate Image Right icons. These allow you to rotate a document and save the rotation. The Add a Text Annotation tool allows you to add free-form text to the document. To add a text annotation, click on the icon once, and to add a text area, you can left-click with your mouse and drag out an area for text. When you are done adding your text, you can click outside of the text area, and then you can click and move the text anywhere you need to on the page. If you wish to change the font or size of the text, when the text is selected with the red box and the blue dots, on the left-hand side you have some text options. You can increase the font size, you can decrease the font size, you can rotate the selected text, you can bold the text. Clicking on bold will unbold it. You can italicize the text. And clicking on the font link will open up the font window. Here you can select from the installed fonts on your computer, and you can also change the font size. And click OK to apply. You can modify the size of the text box by clicking a blue dot and dragging the text box area larger or smaller as needed. If the text box is smaller than the line of text, the text will automatically wrap to a new line. Once you have it the way you like, you can click outside of the text box to deselect the text. You can add additional text areas as needed by clicking the Add a Text Annotation tool as often as you need. Add a sticky note annotation will allow you to add text to a document in a way that will draw attention to that information. For example, clicking once on the tool clicking outside of the text box will close the editing option. It automatically defaults it as black text on a yellow background. This tool also works like the text tool. By clicking the handle, you can rearrange the size of the text box. You can also click and drag this around the page as needed. This annotation is not removable once the annotations have been saved. Draw a straight line allows you to strike out text or items on a page. To draw a line, click once on the tool icon. Click and hold your mouse and drag a line on your document. And when you're done, you can release your mouse. With the tool selected, you can draw another line on the document. To disengage the tool, click on the icon once. You can move or modify a line once you've applied it. To do so, click on the line once, and you'll see blue dots appear. You can click and drag a blue dot to adjust the line up or down, or you can drag a dot left or right to shrink the line or expand the line. If you would like to delete a line, you can do so by clicking on it once, and that will put a red box around it, and you can press the delete key on your keyboard. Draw a freehand line allows you to click and drag your mouse around to create a line on the document. For example, you can click and hold the mouse button and draw a line as needed on the document. When you are done drawing on the document, you can disengage the tool by clicking it once again. With your drawing highlighted, you can again click the blue circle and either resize it or click and drag on your drawing to move it around the document as needed. While it's selected with a red bounding box, you can press the delete key on your keyboard if you wish to remove this annotation. The Add a Highlight tool will allow you to draw a box to highlight areas of your document. To do so, click and drag onto the document. To disengage the tool, click on the tool again. You can now move this highlight or rearrange this highlight as needed by clicking on it. Clicking on one of the blue dots, you can resize this highlight box as needed. If you click inside, you can move it around the document. You will notice, however, that if you apply this after annotations on the document, this will cover up any annotations you have applied, but not information that is already on the document. For example, we applied this text information down here in the bottom left-hand corner. If I drag this highlight tool over top of it, it will actually cover the information as opposed to highlighting it. So just be aware of this highlight tool if you decide to use it. To deselect an item, you can just click anywhere else on the document. Draw an empty rectangle or draw a filled rectangle allows you to add a shape to the document. There is a dedicated Draw a Whiteout annotation. Clicking on that will engage the tool. And just like the highlight tool, you can click and drag a rectangle onto the document. If you disengage the tool by clicking it once again, you can now select your whiteout area, and now you can resize it to fit exactly the area that you wish to white out. So if you wish to white out one line of text, you can do so and adjust your whiteout line as appropriate. To deselect it, just click elsewhere on the document. Strike through the selected text allows you to quickly strike through a paragraph or text by selecting it on the document. To do so, click on the tool. Hover your mouse over the text you would like to strike through. When your cursor changes from the arrow to the select text icon, you can now click and drag with your mouse over the text that you wish to strike through. When you let go, it will automatically strike through that text for you. If you wish to change the thickness of the strike through, you can do so by disengaging the tool and then clicking on the text to highlight the strike through. And now on the left hand side, you'll have some options. You can change the color of the strike through, and you can also change the thickness of the line. Place an X at the selected location allows you to draw an X on the document. To do so, click once on the icon, and then click and drag your mouse to draw an X. When you're done, you can click the icon again to disengage the tool. You can click the X to select it and move it around the document as needed. You can resize it by clicking on one of the blue circles at the corner and dragging it to resize the X. And when you're done, you can just click outside of it. Add a stamp image from a file is not used in Indiana. Add the current date as a text annotation is a quick way to add the current date without having to use the text annotation tool. To do so, you can click once on the icon, and then just click once anywhere on the page. Once you've placed the date, you can select it by clicking on it once, and then clicking and dragging it around the document to where you would like to place the text. We are now ready to sign this document. It is a multi-page document with the signature area on page 5. We can use the navigation tool at the top to navigate to page 5, or if the thumbnails are showing, we can quickly navigate to the thumbnail that we wish to sign and click on it. That will quickly jump us to that page. We can add the current date by using the Add the Current Date as a Text Annotation tool, clicking it once, and clicking once on the document in the area that we wish to apply the date, will apply the current date. To apply the signature, click on Apply Signature once, and now with your cursor on the document, you can now click and drag, and you will start to see a preview of your signature. When you are happy with the preview, you can let go, and it will apply your signature. With your signature selected with the red outline, you can click and drag the signature around the document as needed. To deselect, you can just click outside of the select box. You can apply your initials in the same way. Click Apply Initials, click and hold your mouse button as you draw a small box, and you can see your initials begin to display. You can resize your initials by hovering your mouse over one of the blue circles in the corner, clicking and resizing as needed. You can also move your initials around the document as needed by clicking and dragging it. Stamps are now located under the menu option that says Stamps. Clicking on the Stamp menu option will bring up a list of stamps to which you have access. Instead of a preview of the stamps, they will now be listed by their description. In this example, let's add this county seal. You can now click and drag the seal as needed, move it around the document, and if you need to resize it, you can click one of the blue circles in the corner of the image, click and drag to resize. When you are happy with all of your annotations, you can click the Apply button in the bottom right-hand corner of the command legend, and then click Exit. If you have more than one document open in the document viewer, it will show you the next document that you have open. If you are done reviewing all of your documents, you can press the X in the top right-hand corner. Now, once the document has been signed, you can return it to the appropriate staff for processing. To do so, you can click the Move option in the bottom left-hand corner of the Task Detail window. Engage the drop-down next to the queue and select the appropriate queue. If your queue description is cut off, you can see this in one of two ways. You can hover your mouse over the queue and it will show you the full name of that queue. If needed, you can also hover your mouse over the bottom right-hand corner of the scroll area. When your cursor becomes two arrows, you can drag this window over to the right to see the full description. Once you have the appropriate queue selected, press Continue. And now that task is returned to the appropriate queue for processing. If you are inside of a queue and wish to navigate to a different queue, you can do so by clicking the View option in the top left-hand corner of the Tasks window. In the drop-down, you can select Queues. This will take you back to the main list of queues to which you have access. Odyssey now remembers the last 5 queues that you were in. So from this drop-down, you can quickly navigate to one of your previous queues. You can navigate back to your list of queues by clicking Queues. In our example, our task was moved to the Return to Staff Civil. And if I scroll down to the bottom, I will find the task that has been returned from the judicial officer. To finish this task, we can click on it and bring up the task detail window. We can quickly see if there were any notes added to this task in the notes area. If we scroll down to the documents area, we can click on the View option to the right of the document we wish to review to see what the judicial officer has ruled. This will bring up the document view window. If you have an additional monitor, you can move this window over to that monitor by clicking onto the header, holding your mouse button, and dragging it over to your other monitor. This will allow you to see the document and work inside of the case at the same time. Within the Task Detail window, you can click on the blue hyperlink for the case. This will open up the case in the right panel work area. So in this example, let's navigate to the Events tab. And here we have a signed order for a change of judge. You'll want to add the appropriate event according to the order. Once you have the appropriate event added, you can right-click, select Relate Documents, and associate the appropriate document with this event. Once you have completed processing the document, you can click Save in the bottom right-hand corner of the command legend to close the case. Your task remains open in the Tasks tab in the left panel list view. From here, you can move it to another individual for further processing, or you can complete it. Once you complete a task, you are returned to your previous view in Task Manager. From here, you can process another task, or you can press the View option in the top left-hand corner and navigate back to your list of queues if you needed to go to a different queue. That is an overview of the Task Manager process. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please contact us by email at helpdesk@courts.in.gov, by phone at 1-888-275-5822, or you can always review our cheat sheets and training videos by pressing Alt F1 on your keyboard from Odyssey.